Hello, everyone, and peace of Christ, all of you. Today, our topic is not really about photography as much as about why and how we think. Why slow motion, sorry, footage has an emotional impact on us. Why we get excited, why we like it, why we love it. The first time, me myself, I saw a recording in a camera of a slow motion. I was totally astonished. I mean, this is really so good. So, as always, I like to think about things around me in a very different aspect. Not just see things around me and like it, and that's it. But I like to think about it. And the first thing come to my mind that's there is something strange in this slow motion, something unique, something different. During our daily life, we have always a certain kind of routine we see. I mean, when the wind come, we see the trees moving. When people walk, we see them how they walk. But it's a normal thing. This is something we always see. But when we look at this camera and how incredible the images come to us, capturing in a slow, very high frame rate, which means our eyes cannot really go and capture the frame rate as the camera. And because we are not capable, and we never saw such a thing before, we find this very astonishing. But actually, this is more deep inside you, more than just an image, more than just like seeing something you did not see before. Yes, it is, I mean, a revolution which we witness with the technology, but it's more than that. Because when you watch a slow motion, like if you look at this fountain, and I recorded this in a city called Iași in Romania, and this is all the way to the borders of Moldova, which means you cross Moldova, you will be in Ukraine. And actually, I went all the way to the borders of Moldova and to the river, which is between the two countries. So when you look at this fountain, and you see the details of how the water move, how the drops of water come, you will notice that there is something more than just a slow motion. It is how beautiful it is in the way of a creation, in the way of physics, in the way of moving in a harmony, and how the waves and how this is all is an energy. All what we see in front of us is energy. And now for the first time we see the energy in different level, in different standard, in different way. Usually we see the energy moving so fast. We see it coming in a way we always used to see it, but this is the first time we see this energy. And then when you watch, like always, from time to time, I play for you a video of the sea, and it is in a slow motion. The slow motion have different rate. If you see here, it's a slow motion, but not very slow. So depend what kind of camera you are using. So slow motion can be vary, but however, the more slow it is, the more astonishing it is. And the more slow it is, the more we recognize and we are able to see the movement in details. And that details make us, in love with this thing. How we can see those details? How come those details we were not able to see before? Even we are looking at the same image. So it's kind of a magical, as if you are like moving from out of this earth, as if you are entering something, like at a fantasy land. It's not really what we used to see. And because our routine and our life kind of fast, even though like you think it's fast, but for me I think a human being routine is very slow, very, very slow actually. But like normally we can say it's a fast routine. Otherwise, if you think about how you live, actually if you live 60 years, you sleep 20 years of them, literally. If you sleep 8 hours a day, in 60 years you are sleeping 20 years. So your life is very slow. But because your eyes cannot capture how slow your life, and your eyes cannot capture many things around you, like, you know, we see what we call it visible, but there's many things are invisible, but they are around us. The air is full of particles we cannot see. If you go in a basement, and then the light of the sun go inside the window from the basement in the dark, and then you will see that the air which you are breathing every day is full of small particles. And how disgusting to see that. So thank God we don't want to see it. Thank God we cannot see everything. So what I'm trying to say, there's a blessing sometime we don't recognize that we cannot see everything, because if we see everything we might be disgusted. The camera now is showing us something beautiful, but the camera too can show us something ugly, because the camera now, they are getting more big, like high quality, and the picture can be more bigger. So if you want to focus on something, you will see different details. As an example, if you have a very high quality camera and you take a picture and it can zoom deep to your skin will look scary. You know, it's not the skin you usually see, because the camera now is showing you an image which you never saw before. It's making the picture so clear to the point you can zoom in more and more and more, and then your skin will become like a net of the one you use it for a fish. So which is called the pixels. So the technology which is coming into our life, it can be something beautiful, it can be something ugly, it can show us how stupid our life sometime. It can show you like this is why I like photography actually. You know, I take pictures of anything moving around me when I'm going in a trip, because you know, if you look at people around you, how people behave, how people eat, how people they you know, they do things, it's really astonishing. People don't notice what they are doing. People don't even see sometimes how funny they are, but they talk about each other like how this guy is funny, but nobody see himself. So the river in front of us is very beautiful actually, but if I zoom deep in the water, the water will look kind of a green, you know. So from far distance this is very beautiful, but when you get closer you will see the water. The water, by the way, is not really dirty. It's like like what they call it algae. So it's not really dirty. There's a lot of fish in this river. This is a river in France. This is in a city. It's called Strasbourg. I think most of you know it. So when you look from far away, your eyes deceive you, and you don't see the details. All what you see now, this is beautiful white mixed water going very slow and very nice. But if you go more deep, get slow, like get more closer to the water, you will see that the details is different. So look like our eyes always like to be deceived. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying. So we enjoy what is deceiving, and this is exactly what's happening now. Like even if this water maybe is a sewage, just because it's far enough so we don't see enough details, and we see the slow motion, which is something we like very much, then we love it. But if you get more close, then you will see that there is more details which is not really pleasant to see. So what I'm trying to say to you, that we always like things which is we like to see. We don't want to see things we don't like. We enjoy seeing things we like, and we see it because we like it. But those things is always there. So we avoid things we don't like to see, and we try to focus our interest in things we like to see. Like everybody goes anywhere, like, you know, he go to cities where is there's flowers in the bridge, but nobody go where the poor people live and sleep under the bridge, right? So people like they have their interest, and their interest always is taking over them and control them. So you might buy a camera just because this camera will do this is slow motion for you. So you are willing to spend really good money. I'm using this as in my phone, so I did not buy the camera for that. This is what my phone can do. So it's an option come with the phone. So because you are interested and because you like to see this, then look now. You see, this is the same water, more close. It's totally different from the water we saw before. You see, it's the same bridge. I'm just picturing from the top. Here the image look different. You know, it is a slow, the same slow rate, but I think the one it was from the side of the bridge was a lot more beautiful. So we need always to think why we are really interested. What is making this is special for us? Why we always invest in some stuff in our life and we don't invest in something more important. An example, what about us now? Try to make our life a slow motion and see what we did during the day. How many good things we did, how many bad things we did with our family, with our friends, how many insults we just shouted around, how many times we were rude, how many times we were slow motion. Try to slow motion your life and try to see where is the mistake, because slow motion here can show you really details which usually you don't see. So most of the time, if there is something ugly in our life, we don't even try to see it. We forward, you know, like skip this one. How many time of you took a picture and you don't look good in it, so you delete it, right? You delete it immediately, like delete this picture, especially if it's a girl, you know, delete it. Don't keep it there because it show a pimple in the face, or it show something in the skin, or her eyes is not right, or whatever. So delete it immediately. But this is you. So always in our life we try to delete things which is not pleasant, and we try to focus on things which is pleasant. So this video is not really about slow motion as a phone or not. It's about us, about you and me, why we do this. You know, why we always like to keep going fast, especially when life is not pleasant. We try to skip a period of our life. We try to skip hours of our day, which we don't want to hear no more. Like there's a person you are upset from him, so okay, whatever he says, he speaks slow, he speaks fast, you are not listening. That's it. But if you are in love with this person, if this person he breathe, you hear it. If he say hi, you hear it in a slow motion. You meditate with it, because now you are in love, or you are attached to that thing or that person. So human being, he like to deceive himself, and a human being, he use deception as a drugs, as a way, as a medication. Like, let us say I don't wanna have pain in my life, so I do use like the fast speed to push things which I don't like and keep it away from me. And this is always a practice most of people use without even noticing. Like there's a memory in your head, you try to push away. Like, you know, the second you start thinking about it, you try, okay, let us change the topic, let us think about something else, right? So it's good to see ourselves in a slow motion and see where is and where was our mistake, because slow motion can give you more details. And I'm not talking about you now putting a camera and capturing yourself in a slow motion. This is what I'm talking about. I hope people understand me. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about something totally different. How we always try to focus and try to be more spiritual and more unique in the way we look at ourselves and the things we do. Not to be just people who live, drink, take a shower, blah blah blah, blah, like, you know, okay, normal, because life sometimes take you, you know, life is steal you, you know, like, I mean, daily work and daily headache and daily pressure. Try to slow down with yourself and breathe and see where I am, what I did, what is missing, what is right, what is wrong. So this is why actually, like even in football games, to see it's the one who made the mistake, they have to make a slow motion so they can see really what the move was, because the eyes cannot capture. The camera is doing that. But in fact, we can capture, not for sure, we're not talking about the speed, we are talking about capturing our mistakes and focusing on them. So I'm using the slow motion video just to explain how we attach ourselves only for things we like, and we try to bury in our life things we don't like. We have a pain in our life, we bury it. We don't want to talk about it, we don't want to hear it, we don't want to remember it, and we try to forget about it. Now, forgetting is something good sometimes, because imagine if you remember all the painful things happened to you in your life. But there's kind of forgetting which is negative, which means you forget it, but it's there. It's not like something in the past and it's gone. It is something still in your life, but you try to ignore it so you will not fix it. You know what I mean? That is very negative. So it's very important that when we suffer from an issue, and this issue is still in our life, is not to bury it and ignore it and fast forward. So we like, okay, I'm not going to talk about, but it is there. It's going to come tomorrow and the day after and the day after. You better fix it and change the situation now. So instead of having you know, the problem coming back every day, what about we stop, slow down, and let us see how we can fix the problem. It's like somebody, he have a faucet, and this faucet is dripping water for like the last 3 years. It take him only 2 minutes to fix it. It's just 2 minutes. But because he is a person who push things away, and the more you push it away, the baby, the more is going to be harder to fix it. So we need to stop, fix things we have, and then we can go, and then our life will be more and way more comfortable. This is a fountain in France. I took it with the phone too. As you see, I like to capture videos, and always like slow motion really show you something extreme pretty your eyes cannot capture. This is something we were not able to do not a long time ago. This is something really beautiful. But I try to use this this way to explain that we should always deal with our life problem, and we need to slow a little bit in our life. You know, if you have a problem with your husband, your wife, with your children, slow a little bit, think about it, and don't just be an angry person who shout and scream and say bad words to your kids, or vice versa. Slow down, think about the solution before you open your mouth and fast forward to insult or to attack the person, or to humiliate the person, which you might regret very much soon. What about you slow down, and let us try to see our words impact before we say them. Let us try to see our words or our act impact before it happen. Like if I say that to this lady or this man, what will happen next before I say it? And then if it is negative, then I should not say it. And then if it's positive, then I will go forward. So this is a very important things in our life to do, and it can change a lot of things in your success, in your family, in your business, in your relationship. Slow down. Slow down. Don't let your tongue go fast. Try to make your slow motion tongue. Slow motion. I'm not saying speak slowly now. I'm just saying try to be smarter. Your tongue sometimes can hurt you. You say things you will regret. And most of people, they do that, sadly. So slow down, breathe. Don't let anger lead you. Don't be like a tsunami taking everything in its way, and then after that there's nothing can be fixed. Try to be like a slow water in a beautiful fountain, and let the water come slowly, and try to be like this bees. Like, look at this bee, how it is going to fly and how beautiful it is. So this bee never give up, going from a flower to a flower to a flower, and maybe this flower does not have nectar, but does she go to the other flower? And you see, the bees, they knew what they are doing. They have a target. They are looking for flowers. But many of us, we don't know even where is the flower is. We are confused. We are you know, like filled up with anger. We are controlled by propaganda around us, by the influence of others. We dress as people like us to dress. We eat because somebody eat like this. We are interested in fashion because this is what it's called, fashion. So I have to be fashion, otherwise people will talk about me. Slow down. Slow down, and don't let anyone control you. It is not them who will make your life beautiful. It is not the fashion. It is not what they say. It is what you do. It is the right things you do to yourself and to people around you. This is what I wanted to say really with you. Nothing much. I wanted to share this small video with you, with the video I record. I hope you guys like it. This is a video to stay in my channel, not to be downloaded, so please don't download it. And until we see you soon again, I say thank you very much for being here. May the Lord bless you, and thank you very much. This is a Christian Prince. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.